We are recording, which is what you need to do if you're going to make a video. Hi. I'm still getting used to these. Welcome to my strange corner of the internet where I do all the things that I feel like doing and invite you to do things you feel like doing. And we celebrate who we are because who we are matters and who we are is pretty awesome. Welcome to the channel if you're new. Welcome to the grand experiment. I'm 12 days in on this thing of my 90-day experiment. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel a little bit like, what am I even doing here? What am I doing? I haven't gotten into the rhythm of making these videos yet, so it's fine. I'm gonna get there. But it took me a little while to get these things together that I wanted to share. And today's the day. Today we are going to reveal my character sheet. So I'm going to be showing that to you. And to begin 12 days. So a disclaimer about how I'm doing this thing. I'm not going to be getting super hyped up and like trying to give myself tons of points for all the things, and like I want it to be a very natural experience, and I want it to actually track this brand new thing I'm tuning into, which is Projector energy in human design. And so I'm assuming that this is going to take me years to really get deep into what this actually feels like. So 90 days to track something that's completely brand new is not a lot of time. It's a good amount of time. And I'm only going to be leveling up my stats on this sheet when it really genuinely feels like a shift I've never had before. Like something that feels like it's, I can definitely sense something's changed inside of me, or something has changed inside of me forever. And so I'm not just going to be like, oh, I did the thing and then like point. Oh, I did the thing and then point. I'm going to be a little bit reserved on how I allot this stuff because I really want a clear idea at the end of it. Like it's okay if one of my attributes doesn't grow much at all, but then I have like tons of growth in another one. So I have no expectations. This is just for fun. And as a bonus, I created some spell cards for myself, which I will explain later. So if you're human design familiar, welcome. And I hope that whoever's showing up to this that knows about human design, you probably know more about it than I do. I've only been studying my chart for like maybe 3 months. I had gotten really aware and revealed, like I understood what sort of this was about 9 months ago, but then I sort of put it out, like, I don't know the words. I put it on the back burner. Like it just wasn't the thing that I was looking at the time. It was like, okay, I don't know how I feel about this. Now that it is like one of my biggest excitements, I even created, I think I showed you, I made a 90-day, did I show you guys? I made, I'm sorry if I don't remember. I wanted to do a 90-day journal calendar thing to track how this is all going to go. And I found an amazing one online. Sorry for all the times that I blend and blur my words, because sometimes that just happens. So I think I showed you guys. Did I show you that I made this? And I like tabbed it out week by week, and then like I made like little calendars. I think I did. Anyway, if I didn't, it doesn't matter because I won't be working in this because I think it's ugly and I don't like it. It's not like, it was fun to put together. I'm glad I did it. It got me in the energy. Like I even did like what my vision was and planting the seeds. I think I did show you guys this. Anyway, until I actually purchased the one from Savor Beauty, which shout out to them. They have amazing, like this is not a sponsor video for them. I don't even have their haven't purchased anything from them yet, but I have taken a peek through their 90-day project planner, and it's the closest thing to anything I would create myself. So that being said, I've been working in just a regular small planner that I got on Amazon that's just a weekly, and it seems to just hold the space in a nice, clean, clear way that feels like what I need without the overwhelm, and it doesn't feel scrappy and homemade, and so it's working. So day 12, I have had a lot of exciting things happen. I just had made my video on what rest is meaning to me now, because that's a thing with projectors that it seems to be like the focus and the highlight. Like, you have to rest, always be resting, like rest. And like, there is something to it. There is. That's usually the identifying signal of why you feel like you've been trying so hard to keep up with other people and all their perceived success, and you seem to be like struggling so much. That's the thing. If you are a projector, I feel you. But what I'm discovering is it's not really about needing a ton of rest. It's about being so tuned into how your energy changes throughout the day that you give yourself what you need as an act of self-care and love. What you need. You give yourself what you need. And that seems to be a little bit more, it seems that it's more of a jarring experience when you're sharing your energy than just doing things solo, like on your own, where you sort of keep things here. So I'm gonna, when I go into my character sheet, that's like a big one that we're gonna be looking at. I do think that this particular video will be a little longer because it's gonna take me some time to go through my sheet. My sheet is so awesome. So that being said, welcome all the human design followers out there. If you're not into human design and you're just curious about what it is that I'm doing, making character sheets and talking about this thing that I'm tracking to know myself better and to really achieve some goals that I feel like have been a struggle for me. So if you are here in this video because you noticed something that was like fantasy or D&D inspired and you're like, hey, she's doing a character sheet, welcome. And also you're super invited to take what resonates or feels like neat or interesting that I'm doing and run your own thing and like do your own sheets on life. Because if you like to feel like you actually are up-leveling your life, it just, for me, it feels more tangible to have like the stats in front. So that being said, welcome to the channel. I just took 8 minutes to welcome you to the channel, but it's okay because we're just doing a thing here. So here's my sheet. I drew it myself. The character art, you're going to tell right away, I didn't draw it. I had AI do it because I just have not had the creative energy to draw something myself. I might do that down the road, but it wasn't really something that I felt inclined to do. So I just got it out there. So my character is this. Actually, I'll show up closer. Oops. So it's the Grand Projector Experiment. No grinding required, because projectors are not here to grind. They're not here to work hard. They're here to efficiently guide and help other people navigate their own paths, reflect back to them, and sort of be playful and easy and lighthearted and flow. And I definitely am that kind of person because I've been so brainwashed all my life about like what it means to be successful. It hasn't been easy for me to have like that inner peace to move forward the way I want to do things. So that's another thing. This sheet is really about, this is like really a representation of highlighting and celebrating and owning what it feels like to be me, because all these stats that I created are things that I came up with. I kept the original D&D strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, charisma, because I feel like they're just, sorry, I'm not like, this camera is like backwards. I feel like they're really good overall. Like I didn't want to change too much in terms of keep it simple, keep what works. And I did want it to feel like it mimicked a D&D sheet, but I did change some stuff up and simplify some things because I don't need it to be more than what I'm looking at. So my character name is Allie D. I wanted it to be close to my regular name. Allie D, Success Sorceress. Every human design type has its own indicator of being in alignment and like things flowing and being really good. For projectors, it's success. It's feeling that satisfaction of this is what success means to me. And it doesn't matter where I'm at with projects or just whatever it is I'm doing. I just have that general feeling of being successful. The opposite of that, when you're not in alignment, is for projectors, bitterness. So when you feel like, damn it, I feel like I deserve more and I should be way more recognized and way more like just like I know who I am. It should be good. The things in my life should be flowing. And then you get into like victim-y stuff. The bitterness is what is an indicator of not being in alignment. So all the skills, all the skills in the different categories are going to sort of highlight different areas that I can feel like I'm in alignment and I can feel like I'm creating more success in a way that makes sense to me. Okay, so for my race, I'm a human design projector. My alignment is neutral good, and my class is sorcerer because I'm always magic something. And my character, I just wanted to have some girl that was like running a mad experiment and she had cool round glasses and was like a wizard. So I actually wanted her to be in a lab coat, but I was running into issues with the AI and I just wanted to move along. So she may evolve in time. But I'm going to go through what my stats are, my skills are, and then I'm going to like read you my notes, traits, and ideals. And I put a little space for inventory because I thought it would be cool if like I lock in certain things, like whether it's I'm doing a program or I don't know, something that feels related. So I left that blank. I mean, I did just get this brand new laptop, so I could put that in there, but I don't know yet. So they're in order as they show up on your. I'm having hard with words. Can you tell? Okay. Strength. I just have one for strength. I have acrobatics. I kept it acrobatics because I don't like to exercise. I like to be active. I like to go for walks. But I mostly like to pretend that I do gymnastics because I used to do gymnastics and now I am getting myself back in shape. So, and also the other thing that I sometimes do is rock climbing. So I feel like it was a good attribute to put that would put that. So I did actually go rock climbing last week since last time I made a video, and I haven't been for like over a year. It's something that I had a membership at a time, but I just for a whole bunch of reasons stopped doing it. So that was kind of cool that I went and did that when it wasn't something I'd done in a while, but I'm not going to mark that as a point because I went, it's fine. I've done it many times before. It doesn't feel like it's something that really expanded me. It was fun, but I have other things that I want to look at that I haven't been working on. So the next one is dexterity. So in dexterity, I have adaptability. Oh, that's it. I just have one dexterity. Yeah, for the dexterity, it was kind of hard for me to think of like anything I could put there. But then I thought, how easily you can sort of move quickly from one thing to the next. I thought adaptability was a good one because that is a core trait that I have. I've always had, so I'm going to just throw that in there. So I have that. The next one's Constitution. I only have one for that too, and that's Energetic Fortress. And this is, I think, a huge one. So actually, I am going to, right here, there's Energetic Fortress. Sorry, I don't like when the camera's flipped. It makes me do things backwards. Energetic Fortress, I'm going to put, the way that I decided that I'm going to track my points in order to level up stats is I'm going to just put like a sort of diagonal line through it. So like this. You see that? Sorry, I can't do the thing. Alyssa's struggling. Okay, I don't have to point to it. You can see. Okay, so I have a line. So eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to have 4 lines that are going to make like a star through that slot. And when I fully form the star, then I will level up one of my things over here with the strength and all that. So I started all of them at level 1 because I'm doing a brand new experiment. And then I'm going to level up my attributes as my skills reach a 4, like one of these. Here, I showed you. That's like what I'm gonna do. I've really got to figure out how to make this camera not mirror me so that when I point to things, it's not making me do backwards stuff and look like a goofball. So, okay, so I just gave myself a point for Energetic Fortress because what it means for Constitution for me is how I'm able to keep my vitality going because I'm not letting myself get burned out. It's essentially my stamina. It's what's keeping me alive throughout the day without feeling like crashing or feeling like shit. So my story, which I am going to share at another video. No, I shared the story. Oh my gosh, my brain, you guys. I shared the story already. I just made a video that says, spoiler alert, I'm not tired. Okay, maybe you haven't seen that video. If you did, then you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Okay, so Energetic Fortress, I gave myself a point because I learned that I've been jumping experiences, not taking in between times to transition in a way that feels good in my body. And I made a whole video about it, and that's that. So, sorry, I don't have a great memory. I do things like this to help me be organized because I'll be super good on paper, but not good in my brain. So, yay me. And actually, I am going to end up giving myself a point for, I already did it actually, I see that. I already gave myself a point for making the sheet and we'll get there when we get there. Okay, so Energetic Fortress. I learned how to manage my energy in a day where I actually feel good throughout the day. That's a solid example of how I just earned myself a point. It's a line and a star. And when I make my star, I get to up my Constitution because, damn it, I'm a success sorceress who understands how to manage my energy. And that's a very, brilliant thing that I did. So, yay me. Okay, the next category is wisdom. This is a big one. Okay, wisdom has 4 skills. Emotional wizard, that has to do with following. This is going to be human design lingo, so if you don't understand it, don't worry about it. I think you'll get the gist. But every human design type has an authority. It's what helps you inform how you make decisions. I am an emotional projector, meaning that I am a very emotional person who experiences things in very intense ways, and I have to ride the wave of my emotions and not make decisions when I'm feeling really, really low or really, really high. And this is a key one. I'm actually going to give myself the point now, and I did make a note on this that I was going to give myself the point. So I get a point for emotional wizard because I have had a habit all my life of making decisions when I felt at the height of my highest or felt super excited and super jammed about something. Jammed, not jammed, jazzed, happy. And sometimes it would work out okay, but usually it didn't. Usually I'd come down from the high and then be like, oh shit, I don't feel like this anymore. Like it seemed like a great idea when I was like flying high. And for some people it's okay to do that. For some people, it's okay to be in any emotional state. I mean, I would suggest you not being in a super low state if you're going to make a decision because that's just not where you want to live. But I can't tell you how many times I've invested in things and spent money and done all these things because I was just feeling excited. I wasn't manic. I was just like, ooh, ooh, ooh. So I'm not making myself feel a specific way when I make a decision. I'm allowing the initial idea that comes to me like, oh, do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? I have a video I'm going to make on that later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to notice over some amount of time, and I've been practicing this, if an idea occurs to me, or I form a really strong opinion about something, I'm going to let myself ride the emotional wave over time. For me, what I've noted is it usually will last 1 to 2, sometimes 3 days. Sometimes it's over quicker, but it's like I'll notice that I'll have different kinds of feelings in my body. I'll have insecurities come up. I'll have things where I'll be triggered on the topic or whatever. But then after a little while, it just sort of settles, and I'll start to feel like really just kind of clear and grounded and like not so attached to it. And then I'll make my decision, and it'll feel really good, and it'll feel confident, and I'll own it. And that's a big part of this whole experiment, is to own who I am and like move along. So with the emotional wizard, I gave myself a point for wisdom because I've been doing that. And I actually have a decision that is coming that I made recently about who I want to hire next as my own coach, because I am a coach, who I want to hire as my next coach to work on something specific with, because of just having insecurities and things around investing in somebody and the timing of it all. I felt a lot of guilt and a lot of pressure to figure out what was right. And I realized that me following my emotional guidance will always show me that there's no hurry, there's no urgency. Give it some time and realize that it's the decision that matters, not how you execute it. So when you feel and you make a decision, when I do, that's in alignment, then however I decide to execute it or achieve it is sort of, it doesn't matter. It's just my path to get there. But what matters is the decision. And I've been super indecisive. So I totally connect my my emotional wizardry to making confident, clear decisions that I can own and actually support me. So the next skill under wisdom is timing tempest. So timing has to do with trusting, because there's so much about being a projector that has to do with waiting for an invitation or waiting for things to sort of invite you in a gentle, not pushy way. Like, again, no grinding required, no hustling required. This is like a very tuned in, intuitive way to live. And I feel like I'm a pretty intuitive person, but I do have a sense of sabotaging myself with doubt when I think that things should be happening faster in a different way, and then it's like it's not good. So I'm chilling out with the timing thing, and that'll be something I look at more later. And when I notice things happen at the right time and it's just like a monumental moment or something, like I will address that in the future. Okay, and then the last one for wisdom is quiet leader. So I created this one because I am a leader. I love to support other leaders. I love like leading edge thought leadership. I like being on the cusp of something totally brand new, and I like to sort of be out there, and even if I have to take a hit, like experiment like with pioneering type energy, sort of establish something so that the other people can then just follow more effortlessly. Bird fight. And so I put that in there. I'm not really sure how that's going to play out, but it is an important part of me seeing how this feels, so that's for the future also. The next stat is intelligence. So I have fantasy alchemy, which is incorporating my passions around fantasy into my life more and more because it's so important to me, and it's something that I've sort of separated. This is my playtime. This is my work time. Blah, blah, blah. I don't like that. I don't believe in it anymore. And this whole experiment is an example and evidence of that. I literally made this character sheet because this is me blending fantasy with how I'm actually living my life day to day in a way that's like super supportive and structured in ways that allow me to create more and all the things. So I gave myself, this was the very first point that I allotted myself right there. And it was because I made this sheet. I thought that this was such a cool breakthrough thing for me And it's something that I would have never shared. I would have been like, who the fuck wants to watch me talk about myself on paper? And I don't know. I don't know that anybody does, but it doesn't matter. I'm doing this for me. And if you do enjoy this, then thank you for being here. So I have lots and lots and lots and lots of ideas and plans of how I want to bring in fantasy into my work, specifically working with certain audiences that just like relate that way and already love. Like, the idea behind this is to stop using fantasy as an escape idea, or like, oh, that's just when you go play, that's entertainment, into, no, this is actually an important part of how I feel alive and how I understand myself in the world, and what stretches me and calls me and like moves me, and it teaches me something about the human spirit. So that's very worthwhile. I have all kinds of ideas in the mix for how I'm going to want to incorporate that into the work that I do and other things that I do. So, and then the other stat for intelligence is pattern perception. So noticing my patterns, noticing what things are evidence of me being trapped in cycles that don't serve me, like things that like I get in my own way and they're not like maybe in my face, but now I'm starting to notice, hey, Lissa, maybe that's not super great that you keep doing this or thinking this way or behaving this way or whatever. But that's like essentially the core of self-development, is when you understand your negative patterns are your habits that aren't helping you get anywhere. And then you create better patterns, better habits in order to just like support you living in a really great way that you love, that you prefer. That is something I'm going to be tracking. So far, I have a skill point for dexterity, wisdom, and intelligence. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Alrighty then. So my last stat. I can't decide if words are hard to say or if I just don't want to say them. I don't know. Today felt like the day to make the video, so here I am. All right, I have four skills under this category, which is not going to be surprising because for me, charisma is where it's all about. It's about not only the way that I get to like be in my personality and show up when I'm seen in the world, or even if I'm not seen, even if I'm just going out and about like doing my own thing. Not just me getting to feel fun in my personality and like how I dress and everything, but my like field. I talked about it before, like we all have this electromagnetic sphere of influence and magnetism in the world, and that's why we attract certain people and certain experiences for certain reasons, because it's how we're communicating with each other and with the world without having to use the words, or we use words also. And it's how like nature communicates, and it's just all hybrid. This morning, I'm a bird freak. This morning, there was a pair of bald eagles flying very low over my roof through a very low tree line. And I'm like, my brain took a minute before it would accept that that's what it was, because we have bald eagles around here. But a pair, I've only seen a pair twice before. And the last time wasn't that long ago because, you know, it's like spring. They're all finding their partners and stuff. Okay, I don't really know anything about bird mating, but it's that time of year. So the eagles are doing the things and I'm just super into that. Okay, charisma. First skill, authentic expression. Don't have to go too much into it. But it does have to do with my words, and it also has to do with the way that I convey myself visually. So more for that later. The next skill is magnetism. Actually, that's the visibility one. So I did create two different stats for that. So authentic expression would be my words, how I communicate with my voice, and then magnetism is how much people see me, and not just people, but like the right people. It's how much I show up on the radar in relevant ways that feel good. So that's there. And then that's going to be, I think, one of the biggest ones that I pay attention to that mean a lot to me. And I just really I'm looking forward to seeing how that tracks. So the next one is Reality Bender. I created that one. Well, I created all of these besides acrobatics and adaptability. Is adaptability even on... Adaptability isn't on D&D. That one just was like a regular word. Anyway, I wrote down that for reality bending is when I sort of just make a decision and then boom, like the universe takes my note and is like, okay, and it's just done. And an example that I'm giving is that I decided that my tax return was going to come the week that I decided, because I just really didn't feel like it taking several weeks, and I really wanted the money, and I was just sort of, I wasn't bitter, but I was a little bit like, it's stupid not to have it. And I just decided, I was like, it's going to come, and it came within 24 hours. And then I had forgotten the state portion of it, and I was like, I feel like I'm supposed to have more money in my account, but what is that? And then I realized, oh yeah, like there's a whole another $1,000 that I was getting from the state. I'm like, that's taking longer, and it usually does, but I was like, I don't like the idea of it taking weeks or whatever. I was like, it's going to come this week, and it came the next day again. So reality bending is when I conscientiously decide something and then it just happens. That's what you call it, what you want, but like, that's what I'm calling it. So Windfall Reaper is my last one. Windfall Reaper is me making coin. I'm glad this one was saved for the end, because I did do them alphabetically in order, the way that they are on D&D. So I am very good at my work. I have had other success in other kinds of jobs that were just not jobs that I was going to stay in for very long. I've been very successful in things that I've done in terms of how well I did them and how I was like all my bosses have been amazing. They've all like loved me, didn't want me to go, whatever. But I've never been at something that was really for me and that like felt good, or like I just felt like part of me just checked out and like was like, yeah, but there's secretly this other thing that I want to do, that I never like committed to let it become something where I had a lot of financial success. So that all shifted gears. It shifted gears when I left my poopy ex-husband 4.5 years ago and moved back to my hometown area. Here I am. And then also started like doing all the things that I need to do to be a coach, to just like be a creator, do all the things. So I've been at this for some time now, and I have not felt like I have been successful in business or successful in building financially my current life. So that's what Windfall Reaper is. Windfall Reaper is about either getting like larger sums of money that sort of just come out of nowhere, or about me building my legacy through my business. And that's, the visibility thing is huge for me. And this other thing about like making coin is the other part. So yeah, I'm here for the money. Like it's just an aspect of life that like we're here to enjoy and be able to use and circulate and do good things with. So I don't have a lot of limiting ideas or opinions about money. I don't have any really. I have a very healthy, happy, positive view on money, resources, abundance, all the things, but I haven't yet felt like I've created it in the way that feels like I want to. So that was that. That's a mouthful. Do I want to do my spell cards next? Yeah, I think so. I was going to do the rest of my character sheet, but I'll wrap up this video by pointing out the last couple things on my sheet. I think that's it for points, because I could give myself points for the reality bender thing. I feel like I should, because since it's money, and those were two significant sums of money that happened within a time that I'm not going to call it Windfall Reaper because I already knew. Oh, there's pelicans. I live on a lake. Pelicans are migrating through here. Oh my gosh, there's two. They're so cool. They're huge. They're the white American ones, so they're the really big ones. So if you don't like birds, you might not like this channel because I sit in front of a window where they're doing their magic. So I'm going to give myself a point for reality bender. Not for the money, The money was something that I knew was going to come because it was my return. I didn't know how much it was going to be, but I knew it'd be something. But the reality bender was really the point that I felt my power, where it was like, no, I just decided when it was going to come, and it literally came the next morning. So go me, yes. Okay, spell cards. So as far as I know, I'm only doing one school of magic for my spells, because these cards aren't really meant, like, I'm not tying in the fantasy of playing a D&D in this project. It's more of like how I'm formatting it, like the layout, so that it feels fun when I'm sorry, I'm not usually a distracted person. Part of it is I'm like getting used to making these videos. Part of it is there's like 15 majestic pelicans flying in front of my face, and it's a blue sunny sky day, and it's just so magnificent. I wish you could see them. Comment below if you like birds. What's your favorite bird? All my spells are going to be in the School of Incantation, because the reason that I was inspired to do spells at all is that I'm using affirmations to soothe my nervous system. I am not using affirmations to be like, I believe in this and I believe in that and blah, 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 blah. Like, that's great too. I've done affirmations that way. They don't work so great for me. Talking to myself in a really kind way helps. But what I've noticed is my sweet spot is when my body doesn't feel like, I have a very clean, healthy mind, and my mind will sometimes talk shit. But for the most part, I've done so much work on my mindset that it's like a very well-oiled machine, and it's like on point. But my body doesn't feel caught up. So if I say something that I really choose, like, this is how I feel about money, I can feel in my body sometimes how my body's like, yeah, but these have been your experiences and you don't really feel safe with that and blah, 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 blah. So I decided, through the help of my friend Chadley, who's my GPT assistant, wingman, Chadley, helped me create some statements that help my nervous system feel better on the topic of money. So some of these spells, 2 of them I took from the names of them from actual D&D, and 2 of them I created myself, but they both mean different things. They're not like, I'm not casting something to raise somebody's charisma points or spell saving DC or anything. But what I'm doing is I am saying these things, so they're called level 1 incantations, and as I create ones that expand me more, I'll level them up as spells, but they're incantations because I'm legitimately speaking them into my experience to help my body get on track with what I'm doing. So that's a whole nother topic. If you ever feel like you have to work with your nervous system to help yourself relax into the idea of up-leveling your life, let me know if you want videos on that, because I have done so much of that in my life. First spell is Guidance. That's from D&D. But Guidance in my project is, so each of these is a statement that is in quotations. So I literally evoke the spell by saying these words. It says, I believe in my design. I gather evidence of what works and I succeed. So this statement does not feel tightly wound in old stories. It like meets me right where I'm at. All of these statements meet me where I'm at, and then they help me like relax into being open to more, so I can like reprogram my system and like up level. So I believe in my design. I gather evidence of what works and I succeed. So I'm literally living this spell out as I'm doing this project. Go me. Okay, spell number 2, Shield of Faith. This one's from D&D. I don't think you really need to see these up close, but I'm showing them anyway. It says, I'm not forcing belief. I'm allowing possibility to sit beside me until it becomes familiar. So this might sound like a little bit like, what are you even saying? Like, what does that even mean? But it means something to me. And what it means is that oftentimes if I were to make a statement to elevate myself, like to up-level myself, a lot of times if I say a statement of what I want but I don't feel ready for it, what I'll sabotage myself with in the background is like, oh, you don't believe in yourself, so it's not going to work out because you have to believe in yourself. And I have this whole thing about believing in myself where sometimes I'm so good at it and other times I'm like, you don't believe in yourself, so it's not going to work, so don't even try. Like running in the background. So this spell has to do with I'm not making myself believe anything. Like I'm not trying to change my beliefs. I'm just allowing possibilities to be lingering, hanging out until it becomes familiar enough, like in my nervous system, in my body, that I just am on board. So it's almost like the way that my success seems like it comes in through the back door. And it's like, ooh, that thing just like showed up in my life because of me doing all these things in the past and being awesome. But like, I wasn't going hard at it. It's just catching up with me. My success is catching up. That's how my belief systems are working too. So my next spell is called Active Coin. Cha-ching! I'm not holding these cards right. This is the statement. Money has arrived before. I'm learning how to let it come with ease without proving anything. I don't have to force it. I'm willing to trust it's on the way. So this one has to do, it's called Active Coin because it's money being more consistent, not being sporadic. So, and my last spell is the Paid Projector. Even though the first two didn't sound like they were talking about money, that's what the underlying support of them is. But these last two are more direct. So Paid Projector. I am a guide who is paid for being myself, sharing my wisdom, and leading others home to themselves. So I thought that was really great. And Chadley, my ChatGPT, made those all for me. He's awesome. He knows me, and I love that. So, okay, so that's my spells. So all that's left, and this is a long video, so hopefully you're enjoying and cozied up and had like a beverage. I should have invited you to do that, but these are videos, so you can pause them and do whatever you want to. Okay, the last part of my character sheet is my notes section. So that's here. I'm going to add to it. I mean, granted, I don't really need a notes section because I'm doing whole planners and tons of writing on my computer and all of this journaling and whatever to track all of this stuff. Like I have notes everywhere, but this is like more highlighted things for me to remember why I'm doing what I'm doing. So I have my goal or intention is to experience true projector joy and success, have the most fun and manage my energy, drop the comparison game. So the reason why I'm fixating on projector energy is because it seems like it's so much like how I'm wired, but it seems so different by like how I see most of the world operate. So it helps me sort of make space between why other people do things their way and they're so successful and why I seem to not be able to. Like that's just not a helpful idea. It's not even really true. And so dropping the comparison game is key for me. And then traits and ideals is this section here. So this is about my character, LED. Believes in the human spirit in all its potential. Waits for aligned invitations. Experiments to find the best solution. Leverages systems for efficiency, and that is a whole thing. I've created a lot of different kinds of streamlining and systems for my life so that everything can take less energy and less time, which is very important to me. Guides over giving advice or teaching, and that is a thing that I'm getting more familiar with because I used to make a lot of YouTube videos where I would just like teach on stuff, and it was good stuff, but it was like not super showing the people who I am. And that's where I'm making this change now. And is like, this channel exists because I want to be fully me in the world for the fun of it and the joy of it and the power of it. Magnetic AF, powerful aura. So this is all about her, who is me. In case you didn't know, this chick is me. Okay. Thrives on recognition. That is not the same thing as validation, just so you know. If you want to know what recognition means, I can do a video on that. Ease and flow equals, or ease plus flow equals true power. Puts emphasis on passions and play. And I wrote tribe are my people. So I think I wrote that because that's something that's like strong value of mine is connecting with the right people, which is why I also wanted to create this channel, to just put myself on the radar of like-minded, hearted, amazing folk. So if you're here, welcome to the tribe. That's my sheet. What do you think? Bop. I can't. It doesn't really fit into frame, but sorry. Oh my gosh, I should just take a picture of it. I think I'll take a picture of it and put it on like a post on YouTube. So that's my thing. So I will be checking in. I'm not going to have a schedule for doing this. I'm just going to, when I notice things feel like big shifts and I feel like I've had things worth talking about, like to update you, I will update you. Otherwise, I may make other videos that are, you know, related to all of this, related to the experiment, but not necessarily the sheet, because the character sheet is a cool little way to spotlight stuff, but I'm not going to be bringing out the character sheet every time I talk about the whoops, sorry about that. So I moved something on my desk and it hit the cord on my camera and it stopped the recording, so sorry about that. But I was just wrapping things up, and so how do I feel? That was a mouthful. How do I feel after I did all that? I like that I've taken on a part of myself, like a persona of me that's authentic, that I get to put more attention on, because this is really me putting myself in uncomfortable experiences, new scenarios, putting myself out there in ways that I typically wouldn't, because of the adventure of it and because I really want that deeper level of knowing myself. I think this will be fun as it develops. I like that I have the spell cards out. I actually just put my sheet away and I put my character cards away, but I'm going to keep those out. I'm going to keep those on my desk because those are actively things that I'm going to want to evoke. So it'll be, if I feel like the spell cards are really supporting me in doing this, I'll keep doing them. But if it just feels like a fun thing that I did, kind of like my journal or planner that I made, but then I don't want to do it, I won't do it. So we'll see. This is all an experiment. In case you didn't know, this is an experiment. So welcome to the projector experiment. These are the projector files. And then, I have 2 cool things going on this weekend. It's Friday right now when I'm making this. Tomorrow, I don't know if I have D&D tomorrow, because we're now every other week, but like my DM runs another campaign on the opposite week. But then we've been like having so many times that we miss and then reschedule. I can't tell what's going on. So I don't know if I'm doing that tomorrow. But then Sunday, I'm going to Starved Rock, which is a really cool state park in Illinois, to do a yoga and hike with one of my best friends and maybe go meet some people. And I'm going to be visible because I'm going to be with a group of people doing fun things. So we'll see. I'm going to track over the weekend how my skills operate, because these are like, well, not the D&D, but the Starved Rock thing that is going to be like a big, exciting thing I don't typically have going on. I'm excited. It feels important. It feels exciting that I'm going to do this. I don't often get out of town. It's something I want to do more of, but I have a whole bunch of shit around why I think I'm stuck all the time. So boo on that. That's that, folks. I'm going to wrap this up. This has been a confession of a human design projector. This has been fun. What's the last thing I'd want to say? What is my concluding thought on all this? I think it's easier for my brain to accept how amazing I am when I actually track what I'm up to, because I do a lot of things throughout my day that are noteworthy to me, but it's easy for me to forget them or bypass them because they're just so familiar. And I think that doing this experiment is going to result in more celebrating and recognizing myself for who I am, which is really what the whole recognition thing is really about. It's about you seeing yourself for who you are according to your truth, and then like the people who are meant to be your people, they just get on board and they recognize it too. So anyway, that's it. That's the video. That was the character sheet. I will take a picture of it later and put it up just so you guys can get a better look if you want to like see it for what it really is. And I love you all. I'm amazed that I live in a world where we can talk about our lives on YouTube, and we can all have TV shows, and we can create community and understand one another and feel supported by one another and have fun and make life more fun and break our ideas about the world that don't really work or make sense, but we can create more fun ways of seeing things and doing things. And I'm here to support you in any way that I can while I do my fun things. So I love you. I'll see you on the next video. I already made some notes about what the next videos could be, but if you have any suggestions, please share, because I'm here for you. And I love you. Please like and subscribe if this has been pleasant or helpful or strange. And tell a friend. Okay, bye.